We are doing this one here by YongYea. Good guy. Good guy. Another Concord level live service disaster. Of course. I mean, looking at this, I already can tell that. Yep. It's made by the usual people. The usual people. Straight into the disaster. Worst live service disaster since Concord. Oh boy. I wonder how much money they lost.
It is no secret that live services are falling off like flies. Once upon a time, was a new market that was untapped, and as game companies rushed and raced towards it, that market became oversaturated. And so now it's more difficult than ever to succeed in the live service space. We see more failures and
and that's a problem. There are just too many games. Too many games fighting for the same amount of people. AKA the customers. You didn't had this problem back in the day where, the majority of games were single player games. You play them, you're done with them, and then you move on to the next one. Back then you could have all these games and it was not a problem. Even if the people wouldn't buy games immediately when they come out because they are still busy with another game, they can still do it later. That's literally what I did in a lot of cases. Definitely not with Half-Life 2, and I bought that the moment I came out. The reason why I got the internet, actually.
Ops and shutdowns, then we see massive, billion-dollar successes in this day and age. I mean, we saw Concord completely flop, and this was something that Sony pushed tremendously and spent hundreds of millions of dollars on, only to be
over 400 million. Over 400 million. Apparently, Gold said that he has wait, what's about Concord or a different game? Might have been Bungie and Marathon, which has cost more than Concord. Apparently, way more.
Shut down 2 weeks later and having to issue full refunds, making $0. Highguard came out as a free-to-play experience, and that's a game that did not last long. And even veterans like Bungie are struggling in the live service space with the launch of Marathon, which is the game that followed Destiny. Even Bungie's name isn't enough to carry a brand new live service that is competing in like the most saturated this market has ever been. So
it didn't help them making a game in a very niche genre that only a certain group of people, the hardcores, would play to begin with. That was their mistake. They should have never made this game. They should have never made an extraction shooter. And now they want to put a battle royale into Marathon, as if that would make the game better. Yeah, I think, personally, I think Bungie is completely done. They will never release another game. And if they do, that will be the last one. But I think, actually, Marathon was the last game. That was the last straw. Now, apparently, they were greenlit by Sony to make another game. But personally, I don't think we will ever see that thing.
Find it all the more baffling that studios who are normally associated with single-player, narrative-driven experiences are trying to compete in this space. And chief among them, believe it or not, was none other than Quantic Dream. Yes.
Never heard of them.
Folks, the same developers behind games such as Fahrenheit and Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. These are almost like interactive movies,
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, I have to be fair, I have heard that these games are good, at least these. I have never heard of these two. But the thing is, if this is the kind of games that your studio is making, what kind of live service game would they even make? I mean, you can't make these games into live servers because that would just not work. There's literally no gameplay there. There's no gameplay. So you would have to make something completely different. And at that point, why would this had to be a decision that was not made by that company themselves? Unless they got a new CEO and the CEO went, oh yeah, live servers. That must have been something like that, or something from the outside. You know, and I don't know, the publisher forced them to do that. That's the only two ways I can see why they would do that.
I mean, so their experience with live service is pretty minimal, though they did try to attempt at breaking into the market with this game right here called Spellcasters Chronicles. Now, if you're looking at this game and going, what is this game? Did he?
To be fair, if I look at this, there was a live service game years ago. I mean years ago, almost a decade ago, that tried to compete with another multiplayer game. I don't even remember the name. The graphics remind me of that game, and I have zero memory of the name. It came out, it flopped hard, and shut down, I think, weeks later. But that was about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. At this point, it might have been 10 years ago. Yes, oh my god, I'm old. I'm old. But yeah, that's, boy. You don't want me to remember a game that completely flopped when I'm presented by, your game. Also, graphically, this looks like every other pseudo-realistic comic look game. In other words, Overwatch. Trying to look like Overwatch. Yeah, okay. I get that. Oh, we are a mix of Overwatch, Marvel, and yeah, look at us. Yeah. I can see why this failed.
Called Spellcasters Chronicles. Now, if you're looking at this game and going, what is this game? Did it even come out? I wouldn't blame you. I actually didn't know about this until the notice that the game would be shutting down not long after launch. The game launched back in February 26th of 2000.
Wait, that game came out in February? Into early access? I have never heard of this. I have never heard of this. I thought that came out, I don't know, 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard of it. But February? There was literally zero marketing behind this. What were they even doing?
2026. It was in early access for some time. You can see right here that Spellcasters Chronicles is no longer available on the Steam store, which means that this is a game that died just 3 months after its launch, making it another addition to the massive live service graveyard that currently exists.
And even worse, no one even knew that it existed. There was, I mean, I haven't seen any advertisement. I haven't seen anyone. I have seen no one talk about this game until now. And I literally thought, oh yeah, this game just came out and no one plays it. And it's a disaster. I didn't even thought about the servers already shutting down. I just, oh yeah, it came out, it completely flopped. But this is even, I think this is even worse. I imagine being outshadowed by High God. Oh my god. Imagine being outshadowed by High God. Outshadowed? Wait, does it even make sense? I don't. What I wanted to say is that this game, High God, had more people know about it than this game. And this game lasted longer with less people knowing about it. And Hygar literally took all the spotlight out of this game, but this game survived longer. That's incredible. I think this is actually a success story. Not a good one. I mean, being more successful than Hygar is not hard. I mean, it was Hygar.
We're talking about a live service disaster that rivals Concord. The live service space right now is just not a good one. And unless you have something truly unique and truly stand out to offer, there's almost no chance that yours will succeed, given that the de facto live services already in place. Now, while we're on the topic of space, there's nothing like having a good workspace, and that's where Desktronic, who were kind enough to sponsor today's video, comes in. They are makers of high-quality, beautiful-looking, durable, and affordable standing desks. The specific model I got right here is the Desktronic Home Pro. Beyond the fact that it has this beautiful premium walnut finish, what I especially love about this desk is how heavy-duty it is. Not only being durable, scratch-resistant, and spill-resistant, but also supporting up to a whopping 160 kilograms of weight, or around 350 pounds. No matter how substantial and gear-heavy your workspace might be on top of this desk, the Home Pro will have no problem supporting it. Its height adjustability is also a highlight, not only having no issues handling a pretty good amount of weight, but also being incredibly quiet, swift, and smooth during operation, keeping your workspace secure during ascension or descension. All the while, the desk feels reassuringly sturdy, with practically non-existent wobble during normal use. Like, you really have to try to make this thing wobble. Not to mention conveniences such as the USB-A and C charging ports to the left and right of the control panel, cable management slots to the left and right, as well as the myriad customization options such as size.
So, this table actually seems to be really good, but also the price. The price, oh my god. Yeah. By the way, my desk is a dining table. It's an old dining table. I think I even got it for free. It works. I mean, I'm sitting here with a lot of space, streaming, 2 monitors, computer, light, you know, and I still have space. But yeah, this is, oh my god, $1,000. We just go with 1,000.
And material of the desk, as well as the color of the frame, allowing you to really make your workspace your own. The one I got right here is an 80 by 30 inch desk, making it a very spacious workstation that extends pretty wide. So if you're in search for a new desk that you can be confident in and that won't break the bank, it doesn't get better than the Desktronic Home Pro.
$1,000, not breaking the bank.
And you can get yours by using my link in the description and comment section below with up to a 5-year warranty as well as free shipping. All right, so let's take a look at what exactly went down with Quantic Dream's live service.
Oh yeah,
that
here we go.
Failed to blip on anyone's radar, really. So right here we have the statement that Quantic Dream published on May 20th, 2026. So not that long ago. The statement reads as follows. Today, Quantic Dream is announcing the discontinuation of the development of Spellcasters Chronicles. With this project, our team set out to explore new creative territories and create a bold, original multiplayer experience. Spellcasters Chronicles allowed us to experiment with new concepts and bring to life an ambitious game shaped by the talent, creativity, and dedication of everyone involved. However, in today's particularly challenging market environment, the game—
That's what they always say.
has not reached the audience needed to ensure its long-term sustainability. We have therefore made the difficult decision to refocus our efforts on our other projects. Probably a good idea, especially if we're talking about single-player projects.
Yes, they should have never gone and tried to make something they have no idea how to make. That was a huge mistake.
That Quantic Dream specializes in and should probably stick to. As part of this decision, the studio will undertake an internal reorganization. So that basically means layoffs. That's just a polite way of framing it, which is kind of off-putting if you ask me, the way companies constantly try to minimize and try to frame the narrative of layoffs as, just a reorganization is something less than what it really is in reality. We are fully committed to handling this transition with fairness, care, and respect, and will prioritize internal reassignments whenever possible and wherever possible to support our other productions. And then they emphasize that projects that have already announced that Quantic Dream is working on have not been impacted, stating that the development of Star Wars Eclipse is not affected by this decision.
Wait, they're making Star Wars Eclipse? Oh my god, I hope that game is better than... Well, I should say it differently. I hope that game has actual gameplay. Not like their wannabe movie games.
Continues as planned. As for what the future holds for Spellcasters Chronicles in particular, it reads right here that it will remain accessible online until June 19th, 2026, when the servers will be shut down. All amounts spent during early access will be eligible for a full refund upon request. Further details will be shared in the coming days through the game's official channels and Discord. And then they thank everyone, so on and so forth. But yeah, June 19th, which is just 18 days.
That they are giving everyone that spent money on the game a full refund, that's actually very generous. That is really surprising to me.
Away a little over 2 weeks, that's when Spellcasters Chronicles will disappear and fade into the ether as quietly as it launched. But yeah, I mean, if you look at Steam charts, it's pretty apparent exactly why this game died so quickly. Looking at this game's stats in particular, you'll see player numbers that are utterly abysmal for a live service.
Yeah, 888 peak. No? I would be surprised if Unreal Tournament 1 gets more peak players today. Oh my god, this is horrible.
With an all-time peak that did not even break 1,000 players, and even at that stage, the player numbers fell off incredibly quickly into...
Oh yeah, that was a week and they dipped below 250 people. Yeah, this game was dead on arrival. Oh my god.
The double digits when it comes to daily players, this was never going to be sustainable. From day one, this game was as good as dead. We are talking about numbers that are comparable to the likes of Concord, a game that you may recall that at its peak only had 697 concurrent players on Steam. Some of the saddest figures I've seen for a AAA live service that, again, hundreds of millions of dollars were spent on. This new live service from Quantic Dream, Spellcasters Chronicles, only managed to achieve an all-time peak that is just 200 roughly more players than Concord was at its all-time peak. But what makes things worse for Spellcasters Chronicles is the fact that, unlike Concord, which was a premium-priced game, Spellcasters Chronicles was actually free to play. There were like founders packs and stuff like that that gave you bonuses, but in terms of just diving into the game, you could do that for free. And so the fact that even when it was free, it only managed to achieve these numbers and only slightly above the premium price Concord goes to show that Spellcasters Chronicle probably performed worse in many aspects. Concord did come out on other platforms, so it likely had more of an audience space when it comes to potential sales it could achieve, whereas Spellcasters Chronicles, still being in early access, was only available on Steam. And so Spellcasters...
But the main problem for Spellcasters, I think, actually is that there was no advertisement. I have literally no idea what this game is. No clue. That's actually Spellcasters trailer. Spellcasters Chronicles trailer. Let's watch this at IGN. Official reveal trailer. Beta trailer. Reveal trailer. Early access launch. That's shorter. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. Yeah, graphically not impressive. Looks like every other game that tries to kind of look comic stuff, yeah. It's a hero shooter. It's a hero shooter, but it's not a shooter, it's casting spells. Okay. So it's a hero shooter.
You fall again.
A 3v3. Just like I got. I don't know. Did they get the same consulting company that told them, oh yeah, make a 3v3? What is this? Oh my god, this is so dumb. Why are you all stupid? 6-player spellcaster. I go here again. And yes, this might be. And look at this design. He looks like he wants to sell me crack. Now that design. Not her. Yeah, Violet hair and oh god, yeah, no. This design actually looks interesting. This is the only character where I would go, oh yeah, look at this. This is interesting. This looks cool. This looks cool. I would play a character that looks like that. Because everything I see here makes me curious about this character. And what he is able to do. About she. Fight in the arena. So there's one. Oh, okay, yeah, there is customize your deck. Okay, so it's also a deck builder and there are minions on the ground. Okay. To be fair, so far, this actually looks kind of good. I mean, with the exception of the character designs, with the exception of one. But overall, this doesn't look bad. Summon hundreds of creatures. Okay, yeah. Thousands of possible builds. Okay, yeah, sure. Why didn't you fucking advertise this game? This looks good. Gigantic and Spellbreaker fusion danced in the afterlife and come back to us in the new MOBA form. To be fair, this game looks good. I mean, I don't agree with a lot of the choices when it comes to the character designs, very obviously, but this looks interesting. This literally looks interesting. But I haven't seen any advertisement for this. This is the first trailer I've seen for this. And I actually think this is interesting. I wish they had advertised this. I literally wish they had advertised this. This looks good. This looks like it could be fun. Especially for someone like me who likes, but I play Path of Exile 1 and 2, so I think you can guess that I would like something like this. Oh my god, why didn't you advertise this game properly? Have Asmongold play this game. Give him 10k to play this game on stream once. And you would have more players. I can guarantee you that. But no, they are retarded. They didn't do anything. This looks good. This literally looks good. I would have played this. Because this is cool. Oh my god. finally a live service PvP game where I go, oh yeah, I want to play this. And it's shutting down. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Man. I think the only reason this failed is advertisement. The lack of advertisement. This reminds me of Spellbreak. 3v3 and we only get 6 heroes. What the fuck? Yes. Yes, that's a huge problem. If that wasn't the thing, then it would have been better. I agree with that. 100%. But yeah, this game looks good. I think this game looks good. It had massive potential and it got thrown away. And I don't even know how. Well, I know. No advertisement. Zero advertisement. That's why it failed. And we can see, I mean, 26,000 people saw this. Almost no one liked or disliked it. It's 50-50. No one really cared because there's no advertisement. If you would have had more characters, then, don't make it a 3v3, make it a 5v5. Then this game would have been way better. I absolutely believe that. 100%.
Spellcasters Chronicles definitely had a much more limited player base. And then beyond that, because it's free to play, not everyone who engaged with it spent money on it. Whereas Concord at least got to charge, $40 per copy sold on top of the microtransactions. And so, yeah, that makes Spellcasters Chronicles easily one of the worst live service launches of all time. Maybe the worst since Concord. The only thing we don't know is how big the budget was for Spellcasters Chronicles, how much.
Okay, I haven't seen this. This looks actually kind of cool. Reminds me of World of Warcraft. Before it went completely dogshit. But yeah, this looks kind of cool. Yeah. This is so dumb. Oh, here it says 3v3. I didn't read that part. I didn't see that earlier. But yeah, this is sad. This is sad.
Money Quantic Dream invested into this title. I don't imagine that Spellcasters Chronicles was as expensive as Concord, but it doesn't change the fact that it was likely a significant sum.
And the thing, even if the studio is working on other games already, and they have released previous games, the studio of Concord hadn't. That was a new studio. Sure, with veterans of a different studio, but that doesn't matter. Because they have no history of the team that then existed to make good games and release them and stuff like that. Man, this is so dumb. So dumb.
Quantic Dream stated right here that they are offering full refunds for any amount spent during early access. And so this is a huge loss no matter how you look at it. They're going to make practically $0 from this. That's on top of the overall net loss from the amount of money spent on this game's budget and the development of it. As for what exactly Spellcasters Chronicles was, it was basically a third-person MOBA kind of experience, 3v3 action strategy battles, summon hundreds of creatures, cast devastating spells, and call upon the might of Titans to rise as the most powerful member.
We have just seen the trailer, and it looked good. I mean, am I crazy for saying that this game looked quite good and interesting? I mean, come on. This looked way better than Concord or Highguard or Marathon. This looked actually interesting and didn't look convoluted. I could tell what was going on the screen. And yeah, that's one of the big things. I could tell what's going on the screen. Man, this is actually sad. This game actually tried to be something interesting, unlike Highguard. or Concord.
Of the community of spellcasters and shape the fate of the world. That's what the synopsis reads like, and this is kind of what the game looks like. And, you know, it doesn't look bad by any means.
Yeah, this looks good. That looked
The
interesting.
aspects of its visual aesthetic, I think.
Now, the women, of course, all look like crazy C-words.
That does look cool. But with all said and done, does it stand out so much that it had any chance of...
Yeah, this part where, you know...
With all said and done, does it stand out so much?
No, yes?
Much that it had any chance...
This looks super cool. This looks super cool. Reminds me of Alterac Valley Battleground in World of Warcraft back in the day, where you had the giants that you could summon and then they would fight the other faction. And when both factions could summon giant creatures. So that was really cool. And of course, this also reminds me of Conan Exiles. So yeah, this looks good. This looks interesting.
Chance of standing out from the pack? I don't know. I can't say. There are aspects of the Titans that looks really cool, but overall, like, this is a MOBA, and we have seen that kind of experience.
Updates and new content, rework of upgraded systems, upgrade systems, in-game voice chat. Okay, it's that wasn't in the beginning was a mistake. Rework of ranked mode, introduction of spell unlock. What? Okay. 2 new characters. Nice. So they at least had 8. That's good. And this one actually looks really interesting to me. You know, because we can, you know, fish lady. 4 new spells. Okay, yeah, looks fine.
Experience before, and you know, they try to add some of their own bits and bobs here and there to try to make it stand out, but ultimately it's not something that was so completely new and so newly creative and bold and so on and so forth.
You don't need to be. Just be good. Just be good at what you're doing, and you're fine. You're fine.
That it stands out from the existing MOBAs that are kind of the de facto go-tos. And, you know, when it comes to third-person MOBAs, that's not a new territory either. You know, you've got games like Smite that came long before Quantic Dream did with this title.
Sure.
And, you know, kind of had a foothold in that arena for a while. And maybe Spellcasters Chronicles would have had some chance if there was any kind of marketing surrounding it.
Exactly that. I think the marketing killed the game. And with that, I mean the non-existent marketing. Because there was none. There was no marketing whatsoever. None.
I don't recall like ever hearing about this game or seeing it in any
that's a problem.
kind of big platform that, you know, allowed this game to spread when it comes to word of mouth or for it to be seen by a mass audience. Like, I had no idea this game existed, that this title was a thing, until its live service shutdown was announced and word about it began to spread. And I heard that it came from none other than Quantic Dream, which I thought was just like such a mismatch when it comes to, like,
absolutely.
You know, Quantic Dream being the last studio you'd expect to tackle a live service. And look, I'm not one to dictate which game companies are not allowed to try their attempt at a live service experience. All I'm saying is it feels like just a recipe for disaster more often
absolutely.
than not.
100%.
Like, to stand out from the existing pack is incredibly difficult. To stand out from the existing oversaturated market is just, you know, it's damn near impossible. You really have to, like, catch lightning in a bottle. That's really what it comes down to. And
that's what Embark Studios did with Arc Raiders. You know, one of the 3 games I play all the time. And I forgot its name. But yeah, Embark did it. And they are sadly fumbling their success. But we will see in October how well it's going to be, because that's when they bring out their new update, massive content update, hopefully. But until then, we have to, stay calm and play other things. But yeah, man, it's actually sad that I hadn't any chance of playing this game.
And for a studio that isn't necessarily known for this kind of experience, to delve into this arena was always going to be a massive risk. And in the case of Quantic Dream, it ultimately did not pay off. And
At
this
all.
has been nothing but a huge money black hole for them. Hopefully, that's something that they can bounce back from with future releases, like the new Star Wars game that they're working on. And no doubt they're cooking up other things. But yeah, layoffs will be happening, and that always seems to be.
They have other things. Earlier, he said that they try to redistribute the developers to other projects, no, to other teams, implying that there are several teams.
The culmination of live service launches, even successful ones. Hell, Battlefield 6 was like the most successful game. It even surpassed Call of Duty the year that it launched, and studios that worked on that game still experienced layoffs. And so, yeah, the shutdown of Spellcasters Chronicles is yet another casualty in this business model that is just, it's better to not try. But of course, with corporations realizing that if they do strike lightning at a bottle, they could stand to make billions, for them, that pursuit is worthwhile, because all they care about is that, the growth of the company rather than, the sustainable maintenance of the company.
Exactly.
And a steady growth rather than.
And that's the problem with having a company that's publicly traded. That's a problem. It has to grow and grow and grow. You can't just be stable and just do what you're good at and make money. That's not enough. And that's the problem.
Explosive ones. But anyway, we've seen all of this before. Nothing shocking, but just more proof that live services are a hell of a gamble, one that is, deeply stacked against companies who pursue it. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on Quantic Dream, Spellcasters Chronicles, and its impending collapse just, a few short months after launch in the comments below, as well as just the general state of live services and your thoughts on where that genre is going and where it should head towards. And to be further up...
I don't even think that live service games are a genre. It's not a genre. Because in this genre of live service games, you have all sorts of different genres of games. So it's just a model, a business model that is being put on to games, or games are designed to fit that model. Yeah. And it's not working out very well for most part.
Updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions. Stay tuned right here on YongYea. I'll see you guys next time. YongYea out.
Good video. Yeah. Another live service game dead. This time one I have never heard anything about before, which is sad because it actually looks interesting. It actually looks like an interesting game that I would have played, at least tried out. I mean, it was free to play, so why wouldn't I try it? I mean, I tried Marvel Rivals, and I spent how much time did I spend in Marvel Rivals? Marvel Rivals, 46 hours. It's not a lot, but I spent time in it. So that's at least something, right? Yeah. And with that, we are at the end of the video. If you liked it and want to see more, subscribe. And if you really liked it, give it a like. And let me know in the comments. Have you ever heard of this game before? Have you? I don't think so, because I didn't. And I'm always online. I'm chronically online, and I've never heard of it. If someone that's chronically online and is a gamer has never heard of this game, that's a bad sign. That's literally a bad sign. And with that, see you next time. Bye-bye. Have a good night and all that stuff too, right? Yeah, see you. Bye. Yeah. Confused old man appeared.